okay? And I'm not talking about poking fun. I'm talking about in his face mask. Now, this is where it gets wild. Javon Wims, watch him. He snatches off his chain, and then he gives him a jab, pauses, recoils, and gives him another jab. Listen, I don't know why this happened, but let me say this, and I've said it before. Don't punch anybody that has a helmet on. You would do more damage to your hand than anything. And on top of that, you'd embarrass yourself in front of a national audience. But let's move on. All right, so we got Nick Foles trying to make something happen, and it was intercepted. Okay, now, on the sideline, the Bears, they're trying to get something going. Let's move along to the fourth quarter. I want you to look at Drew Brees. Drew Brees is going to hit who? Taysom, I possess every skill hill. He can do it all. He can play quarterback, wide receiver. He was wide open, runs in for the touchdown right there. That was a 20-yard TD. Saints lead 23-13. Later in the fourth, Nick Foles, Darnell Mooney. Yeah, Darnell Mooney, 3-yard touchdown. Bears trailed 23-20. All right, a minute 51 remaining. Nick Foles, who's looking for Cole Kmet. Oh, okay, Cole, make it some. Wait,
game over.
Out.
Game over.
It's a wrap. Come on. The ball popped out, but they said this was forward progress. I gotta be honest with you. I thought it was a fumble.
I like this call. I think they got it right.
What?
I do. I think it's forward progress stop.
It was a great play by the defender.
4th and 8. Foles can't do it.
They gave it back to him. Okay, 4th and 8. Who's he looking for? Anthony Miller, who had an interesting tweet after the game.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Caught that ball. That was an 11-yard gain. Bears, they would be in position to make something happen. Allen Robinson, like I said, he runs routes. He puts dudes on the ground like an N1 mixtape. He gets the 7-yard gain. That was on 4th down, mind you. All right, the kick, Cairo Santos. This is a 51-yarder to tie the game. It's good. Okay, Bears tie the game. This is going into overtime. Let's get interesting. The game tied at 23. Nick Foles, he wants to make something happen. He's trying to step up in the pocket.
Go, just go.
Yeah, he's sacked. He is sacked by Trey Hendrickson. Okay, they would punt the ball. Drew Brees, Saints will get the ball. 4 minutes remaining. Drew Brees, this is what he does, guys. Who is he going to hit? Steps up in the pocket. Trey come on sprint. Even at his size, he just has no fear in that pocket. Great catch. They continue to move the chain. Who would you go to in the moments that matter? Alvin Kamara.
Oh, he's so good.
Who has been fantastic this season. That's a 20-yard game. Alvin Kamara, 12 rushes, 67 yards. He had 9 receptions for 96 yards. And this is Will Lutz.
Lutz ain't missing.
Yeah,
he posted one earlier.
There's no
a lot of time
luck
left,
involved when it comes to Lutz field goals. That was a 35-yard game winner. Drew Brees, 14 career OT wins. Overtime wins, that is. That's including playoffs. Most by any starting QB. The Saints, they win this one. A close one in overtime, 26-23. Let's hear from Drew Brees.
Battle tested. That's what it is. Battle tested. No matter what situation we find ourselves in, we're going to be able to draw on a lot of these other moments where we had to find a way to win.
We knew it was going to be a fight. It was going to be back and forth. I mean, just Lon said it the whole week. You know, the team with the most fights is going to come out with the win, and you know we were able to keep clawing and keep scratching it, and you know just keep imposing our will, and we came out with the win.
Oh, we'll get to Kamara. Another stunning performance from him, but another hole that the Saints dug themselves into and had to get out of. What did you make from the Saints' overtime win over the Bears?
I love Kamara's post-game attire. I think I liked it more than Carson Wentz's even.
That could have been the Halloween costume.
That was fantastic.
1 day too late.
Shirtless and an arm sleeve. Fantastic win by the Saints. You're going outdoors, first time all season. This is a game they were losing early, came all the way back, then gave up the lead. And I look at the team, and I look at them, what they're doing without Emmanuel Sanders, without Michael Thomas, without some players on defense, and they're still winning. You watch these Saints games. They beat the Panthers by 3 last week. They beat the Bears by 3 this week. They're not the Saints of old where it's 55-10 and you're doing flips about crazy plays with Taysom Hill throwing, flip passes to Drew Brees. They're just winning games, and that is the veteran leadership they have at coach and quarterback. Sean Payton has dealt with so many injuries. We don't talk about him all the time because it's not as glaring as the 49ers, perhaps. But I would say right now, I'm going through week 9. Sean Payton's very much in place to be the NFL's coach of the year with what they've dealt with and the fact that they're 5-2 and in top of the NFC South, right there with the Buccaneers.
They're so underhanded. They just sat around. I wasn't terribly impressed when they showed grit and they won the game. I felt like they were like, Bears, do you want to win this game? Like, take it. We blew the lead. We didn't score in our first possession in overtime, and the Bears are like, no, we're good. Like, you take it. It was going back and forth. This was such a winnable game for the Bears. So just make a couple plays, and it's over. And you beat the Saints, and then the Saints will come back and get healthier. And they couldn't do it. The Bears offense, I know we're going to talk about it later in the show, it's so paralyzed, and the defense has to be so perfect for them to win. Kamara makes a few plays, and it's a wrap. Credit to the Saints. The Bears should have won this game, and they couldn't.
Yeah, speaking of getting healthier, what is this team going to look like when Michael Thomas comes back? I mean, right now they're making plays and they're piecing it together. The question is, if he comes back and seamlessly fits back in with this offense, they're going to get that explosion back, that dominance back. Let's just call it what it is. Michael Thomas, when he is on his game, he's considered the best receiver in the game.
Hasn't played since week 1.
That's what I'm saying.
Do they need him?
They do need him, for sure. They don't win a Super Bowl without him.
So they don't need him to beat the Bears.
Yeah, exactly. But they need him to make a Super Bowl run and get to Tampa. And if he is in the right body, the right mind, when he gets back, this team is going to be even more dangerous.
Can we just talk about how good Alvin Kamara is?
Please.
Guys, 6 straight games of 100 or more yards. He is the #1 wide receiver in this offense right now without Michael Thomas, without Emmanuel Sanders. Dalvin Cook had himself a day. I'm wearing the chef sweatshirt. They don't do anything on offense if it isn't Alvin Kamara. I'm so glad they got the deal done with him. That really bothered me to sort of start the season. This is a guy who's absolutely operating as the best weapon in the NFL. I think if we're talking about any running back being in the MVP conversation, we're looking at him right here on the screen right now. And I say this, next Sunday night, we might see Antonio Brown on the field. We'll see a star in Tom Brady and Gronk. Michael Thomas might be back. The biggest star on the field for Week 9 Sunday Night Football will be Alvin Kamara.
I can't argue with it. He's absolutely incredible. The Bears spent the entire week being like, we have to stop 41, and then 41 they pulled their underwear over their head.
9 catches.
That's all they had to do. They couldn't stop. They had Mack trying to drop off and cover. Nothing. He's so good.
Most
really
dangerous weapon in the NFL. Do you agree? At GMFB, let's go to Ian Rappaport. The trade deadline, Ian, is tomorrow. It's at 4 p.m. Eastern. We, of course, are on the lookout for some names that we should be keeping an eye on before then. And good morning to you. What's up?
Good morning. Let's start with a big name here. Will Fuller, the deep threat for the Houston Texans. Did not see him yesterday. They were on a bye, but you did potentially see a landing spot for him. From what I understand, the Green Bay Packers have maintained interest in Will Fuller really since the summer. You wonder if that offense could use a spark, maybe a deep threat for Aaron Rodgers. We will see if they're able to get something done, but the interest there is legit. Another player who is receiving interest is David Njoku, the former first-round pick for the Cleveland Browns. Got 2 years left on his contract. Still very talented. Just they have so much depth at tight end. From what I understand, a really good deal, maybe a mid-round pick, could be enough to force the Browns to make a decision to trade him. And then here's another one to keep an eye on. Dwayne Haskins, the former franchise quarterback for the Washington football team. It's not like they want to trade him, but I'm told if someone calls, if there is an offer that they deem acceptable, they would be open to trading their former first-round pick, someone who was benched, obviously, earlier in the season.
Interesting names to keep our eyes on. Of course, we'll see what the Patriots do, whether they're